Hi there, happy Purple Friday, and welcome to this week's Truman Tech Break. Today we'll be talking about some of the things that you can do with the free software called Audacity. Audacity is an audio recording and editing software, kind of similar to GarageBand, and it works great with Windows and Mac. Now, this is a software that could be useful for class projects, such as creating a podcast or a website or video that require music, voiceover, or sound editing. Now, before we get started, you are going to have to download the software if you haven't already, and I'll go ahead and provide a link in the description for you on how to get that. Now, once we open the program, the first time you open it, you may have difficulty. It may say that it was downloaded from a site that it doesn't recognize. If you just go ahead and press Control and click on a Mac, or right-click on a Windows, and just select Open, you should be fine, and it should not do that in the future. Alright, so this is just the basic user interface of the program. Just a couple things to go over here. There's some settings that you can change, which is the project rate hertz. I wouldn't really mess with that too much. You can also change your inputs up here. So we've got the built-in microphone right now, built-in output. Once again, those settings on default should be fine. If you do need to change them and know what you're doing, though, feel free. Got volume here. I'll just go ahead and leave that up as much as possible. And over here we've got a little video bar, so we've got pause, play, stop. This will take you back to the beginning, skip to start, this is skip to end, and this is record. So one of the things that I want to do first is just show you how you can do a simple voice recording with Audacity. So you have to do is just click this red circle right here and begin talking, and now your record has begun. Once you're finished with your recording, we can go ahead and press the yellow square. Once you want to listen to your recording, all you have to do is just press play here and begin talking, and now your record has begun. Once you're finished with your record. Now, one thing I do want to talk about a little bit are waveforms. Those are these little blue lines here that you can see. The farther away from this middle line that these blue lines deviate basically symbolizes how loud the sound is at that given point. That'll be useful later when we start talking about loops, but I just kind of wanted to bring it up now. Now, another thing that we can do is overdubbing. Overdubbing would be most useful, I think, for instances if you wanted to record your voice singing perhaps over a violin track that you already have. I'm pretty bad at music, not very musical, so I made a knock-knock joke instead for myself. So what you can do for overdub, it works best if you have some sort of microphone. I don't have one of those right now, and I don't want to end up picking up the sound twice on my laptop here, so I'm going to go ahead and mute this original track. Now we can record who's there, to who. All right. And now when we go back and play, we can hear the entire joke with both of my tracks, the original and what I just recorded. Knock, knock. Who's there? To who? No, actually it's to whom. And that works better. I could have originally recorded with the mute on, but there would have been a little bit of an echo, and that would have definitely ruined the timing of my terrible joke. If you want to get rid of an audio file here, all you have to do is just click in this X in the left-hand corner of it, and it's gone. Now we can also work with music a little bit. So here we have acoustic guitar. It's just a little file that I downloaded. It sounds like this. All right. Now we can edit this clip if we'd like. It's actually very similar to a simple Word document like Microsoft Word. All you have to do is just click and drag. Say that we wanted to get rid of this entire little section right here. All you have to do is click and drag, and now I'm clicking delete, and it's gone. Another cool thing that we can do with this is we can create a loop. So as you can see here, this clip only goes about this long. It's a little bit longer than 5 seconds. If we wanted it to go on indefinitely, and it's a guitar little riff, so it theoretically could. Oops. All we'd have to do is select the part that we wanted to repeat, and we have that here now. If you want to test that, what you can do is click Shift and Space. Stop that. If that's what we want to create for our loop, all we have to do is just click Effect up here on top, go down to Repeat. We can decide how many times we want to repeat it. Let's try 3. So you can see here, this is kind of the boundary between 2 of our repetitions. All right. When you are creating a loop, one thing to kind of consider is the wavelength, as we were talking about earlier. As you can see here, in this little section, wavelength is considerably more quiet than it would be in this section. And sometimes it won't sound quite as smooth if you go from a wavelength in one section to another. So if I just kind of randomly just start deleting things here, we'll see if it sounds as so right, so that's kind of sounded terrible, not surprisingly. Just because it's kind of skipping between wavelengths there is one of the reasons for that. Another thing we can do here is we can overlay different audio tracks onto each other. So say we've got our guitar here. I think this is drums, maybe bass. Not very musical. That's probably a different time signature between both of those. But yes, you can definitely mix tracks together, and they will have different qualities depending on how well they actually do go together. Once you have, let's say we've got this track here, mix it with the guitar. So very, very bad mixture. I apologize. But say that for whatever reason we do want to keep that track. We are going to go up to File, and we'll go to Export Audio. Now here you can go ahead and choose, your save name. We'll take it. And that's one terrible song. And you can choose where you're going to save it to. I typically like to just save stuff to desktop, but you can send it to wherever you want to. And you can choose the format here. This is also useful, by the way. You can, if you have a particular audio file and you want to convert it to a different format, Audacity is great at that. Say that you have a WAV file, you want to convert it to an MP3. So we could do that. One thing, though, is WAV works pretty well in the initial product that you get when you download. You would have to download additional software to be able to convert to some files, such as MP3s. With MP3s, you would need a software called LAME, and it would let you then convert to MP3s. I'll go ahead and put a link down at the bottom for that as well, in case anybody be interested in that. Say that we just wanted to create this. You can go ahead and check that so it doesn't bother you anymore. You can enter any kind of information that you want. That's going to be useful in iTunes if you wanted to add it to there. Click OK. And there it is. So yeah, that's all we have this week. If you have any questions about Audacity or how you could use it in the classroom, please feel free to contact the Learning Technologies office. Thanks, and have a good weekend, everyone.